Welcome everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsSaysStamp.com with a Funny Friday card using art impression stamps. I'll be creating my card using the Front Porch series, and the first one is the front porch. So you have your architecture and your front door and then some greetings that go along. The second set is the Halloween set, and this includes all the decorations that I can add to that front porch for my Halloween themed set. So each of them has the stamps and also coordinating dies that you can use together. I've placed a half sheet of cardstock in my MISTI, and I placed all the stamps that I want to use on the cardstock, and now I can press this down to attach them to the door. Since I'll be using Copic markers to color in the images, I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink to ink up all of the images at once. And after giving it a good press, I can reveal all my images. I've left enough room around each of the images so that I can attach my dies down in place, and here I'm using the low tack tape to tape all these dies in place so they won't shift when I die cut. If you take your time and place your dies around your images, you'll get a really nice cut since it cuts so close to the image. And the low tack tape makes it really easy to pop your images out because the tape won't bind permanently to your paper. I did some basic coloring off screen, and for all the browns I've used E55, E57, and E44. For all the gray in my images, I've used W1, W2, and W4. For the oranges, I've kept it simple and I've used YR04 and YR07. For the purple in the skeleton's hat and other items, I've used BV02 and BV04. And for the rest of the items, I've used BG72, BG000, Y15, and YG25. For some of my items, I'll be using my Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue, and this is a little window frame and it'll sit right on the door. So I want this to sit flush, so glue is my perfect choice. One of the images is some plank wood that will sit over the window, and for this I've used a small foam square just in the center, and I can place this on top of the window. The door of this front porch does swing open, so I'm going to put my spooky image just underneath so that I can still see my image, but yet you can see that the door opens. Another item that will sit close to the front porch is the tree, and I'm using some dots of glue in those little tiny areas of the branches, and then I can set it onto the porch to where it looks like it's really sitting on the porch and then covering the window. And next are the pumpkin lights, and I've used some small pieces of foam squares so I can give these a little bit of dimension for a more realistic look. There's a little trick-or-treat sign that's going to hang on the doorknob, and I've put a little bit of foam tape right on the back of that. And I'm also going to use a little bit of glue right on the handle so that it looks like it sits flush on the door handle, but yet pops out at the bottom. There's a little pumpkin that's going to sit at the base of the tree, and I want this to sit flush since that skeleton's going to sit a little bit on top of that. I am following all the images from the packaging to know where everything goes, and it's a really nice guide to help you through the process. As I'm building this scene from the back to the front, I'm making sure that all of my front pieces have some dimension by using some foam squares. And now that I have all my pieces together on my front porch, I'm going to get ready to create a backdrop. For this, I'm using the paper layering circles, and they're really fun, wonky circles. And I've cut one from lavender cardstock, and the other is lemon chiffon from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm stamping the tree and also the bat on each of these pieces, and I'm using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I want to add a little bit of shading to these, so for the purple piece I'm using some heather ink, and I'm going to ink blend just around the edges using the Simon Says Stamp blending brush. And for the yellow piece, which is going to act as my moon, I'm using some sunbeam ink just around the edges. Now I'm ready to put everything together, and I'm going to cut some strips of our Simon Says Stamp foam tape to fit onto the pieces that are a little bit thinner than the foam tape. Using my everyday scissors, it's really easy to cut through these, and I can customize my foam tape as I need to. At this point, I can start adding my wonky circles onto a black note card, and I'm just using my Simon Says Stamp dot runner, and I'm going around the edges. And with my adhesive in place, I can put this right onto that black note card and press it down. And I'm going to add my moon after I add my house so that I can see exactly where it'll fit. Next, I'll remove the backing of the foam from the bottom part of my house, and I'm going to place it right onto the card. And I'm going to leave that top part unstuck for now so that I can slide my moon right under and attach it in place. And for that, I'll be using the dot runner once again. So now I can just lift the edge of the house up at the roof line and place that moon right down. And for the final images, I'm going to glue the little web right in place, and then I can place the spider on top. This was a super fun card to make, and I love all the dimension and building it all together to create a scene. I do have all my supplies listed in the description box below, and if you'd like to find more information about this card, follow the link to our blog post. And as always, thanks so much for watching.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.